name is Marzell Barker. I am a clinician for the Lawrence Children's and Families Violence Program. So my role is to do individual therapy with both children and adults. I also run the children's who've witnessed domestic violence groups. Sadly for youth today, there is a lot of pressures to adhere to norms. And whether they're the cis male and female norms, a lot of times for youth who don't identify with the binary, they feel like there's not much of community, or the community that's there, it won't be accepting. For non-binary gender identities, as you might know, we're usually told like boys and girls. However, even biologically, there's more than just two sexes. And for people who are non-binary in gender identity, it's actually an umbrella. And it's really just the not adhering to what you feel is either masculine or feminine. You can either be in between or even outside of the realm. It's just not feeling that your sex identifies your traits or how you identify yourself. The major thing we see is that they start questioning their own view of gender, especially if they grew up in domestic violence. They worry that maybe I'm non-binary just because I see masculine as toxic and like feminine as weak. And it's always sad when you see someone who's willing to explore themselves but can't move past the feeling that they're being forced to explore themselves, that it's a byproduct of pain they've been through. Sadly, another thing that happens usually is whoever might be the abusive parent or relational person in their life might harm them because of how they're presenting their gender identity or non-gender identity. Or they're constantly influenced and told, like, you have to do A, B, and C. And living in fear of being who you are or being comfortable with who you are has lasting effects. And it also affects, too, the people that they surround themselves with or become friends with, because they feel this pressure to adhere, and telling anyone that they can't be themselves and causing them to be afraid of exploring who they are is extremely harmful in every way. So finding your own voice in a world that constantly tells you you don't have a voice or you shouldn't have a voice is something that every oppressed group sees. And it's even worse for people who are non-binary, neurodivergent, racial minority. If you put all of those identities together, it's even worse. The impact, it comes in anxiety, depression, because let's think about it, even as adults, if you weren't able to dress the way you want or act the way you want without being told it's bad by someone, you're gonna get depressed. Sadly, we see a high suicide rate amongst non-binary people and LGBTQIA identifying in general, because a lot of times they don't wanna live in a world that they feel won't accept them. You see a lot of damage by their families. There's a lot of corrective actions families will do that are very abusive towards these children. So it really affects multifaceted. You get eating disorders. If they're trying to achieve a certain body type that aligns with their view of themselves, but it's not natural. Especially if you're a parent who has once been in a domestic violence situation, don't assume that your kid's gender identity is because of the violence. Instead of thinking that it's due to the person you were with or the person who's around, just listen to your kid. Ask them what makes them feel comfortable. You'll find that it's not harmful. It's not something that is going to cause harm to anyone. Educate yourself as well. The number one thing you can really do for these kids and young adults is love them, listen to them, and learn from them. Because they're learning who they are, and if you take the time to learn who they are with them, you're going to find someone who's so amazing and better than you thought they could be. This mentality we have in society that if you're a guy, you have to be this way. If you're a girl, you have to be this way. And it doesn't allow for cultural variation, time and place. And the thing is, we have to remind ourselves as a society, this isn't harming anyone. A young boy with long hair is literally not harming anyone. Someone painting their nails, not harming anyone. A girl who wants to have short hair and climb a tree, That's awesome. We need to stop telling people who they have to be and what they have to do in order to adhere to toxic masculinity and even hyperfeminization as well. Because once we allow people to actually show their emotions and like talk about their feelings and be who they want, as a population, we will be healthier. You are beautiful. You are wonderful, and you are really the future. Don't think that because you don't fit what you're told the norm is, that there's something wrong with you. You are an evolution of possibilities and growth that we're finally reaching. And make sure that you know that.